Hey guys, so excited to be speaking to you. This is the last leadership training before our contest officially starts next week, our Leaders Retreat contest. And I just want to speak to what I've heard a lot of leaders say, which is that, they feel like they're rebuilding, they're reseeding their pipeline of leaders. They're getting excited about working with new people. And that's very normal. And I want everyone who's watching this, everybody who's here with me right now, to know that if your business looks the same year after year, you're not doing what you need to be doing. And it's not going to be sustainable. We want to believe that everyone's going to come with us. We do. We want everyone to come with us. We want them to be the same potency in our businesses, but that's not reality because this is a business of they say volunteer army. I don't know that I love that term, but for all intents and purposes, people are here when they can be here and when they're available to be here and when it aligns with what their goals in life are. So we have to be thankful for when people come and gosh, I've had people here with me for years and years and years, over a decade. So it's not that everybody's going to do, a changeover, but very uncommon that you would not bring new people into your business. And so if you're in a time where you feel like you need to be doing that, I want you to really understand that, we're just going to break it down a little bit, but we don't want to be starting on the first. That's the biggest thing I want to tell you. You've got a little bit like a week ahead. If you're watching this recording, if somebody shared this recording with you, now is the time. Because I think sometimes what happens is we wait to go, right? So we want to build before the bell. Okay. We don't want to be just waiting and holding. I feel a lot of that waiting and holding, and in sales and traditional sales, that's what we call sandbagging, is when we hold all of our good stuff to like release it at a certain date because it's going to feel better for our outcome of like a contest or something like that. And while strategically that may make sense in your brain, what it does is it inserts your intentions and your strategy into the timeline of other people, which is unfair. And if you say that you're here to do this for other people to help them, everybody says, I'm here to help people. That doesn't help them. Holding them back on your own timing is not helping them, it's helping you. And so what we have to do is we have to really release that control, and we have to say, hey, when they come to me, that's when we're doing it, right? So Tuesday is obviously when the contest starts, but not when our rebuilding or reseeding starts. That needs to start now. And it's something to really think about. A lot of times when we hear the word rebuilding, I don't know, over the years, I don't want to, project this on anybody, but over the years, I felt like, oh, what a failure. Like rebuilding, that feels like so heavy. It feels really sad. It's not. It's not starting over. You're starting with experience, relationship skills, a beautiful foundation of everything that you know, the people that have already come into your business and into the fold. I think a better term would be something like, we've plateaued and now we're going to start the climb again. I do not feel like it's like, oh, we're back down to zero. Now, someone could watch this video and say, well, Sadie, I'm back down to zero. Well, you're still starting with a foundation of experience. So I want to encourage you not to, mourn that old momentum that you experienced at one time. That's kind of the trap of, quote unquote rebuilding, is we look back believing that we've missed something or we've lost something that is that we should have been more skilled to bring with us. And sometimes what we have to know is that, building an energy is cyclical in this business. It is cyclical. We're never always on a constant high. Everybody that you see that you feel like is on a constant high is not. I can promise you that. Behind the curtain, there are things happening that you are not seeing. So what I want you to do is think back to the most exciting time in your business, and we're not going to wish that was still here, but we're going to check back in with what we were doing at that time. How are we showing up? What kind of a volume of of activity were we using? What was our mindset? What were we believing? What was our daily habit? So, because what happens is sometimes when we think that we're bad at our job, we stop showing up in the same potency in the same way. And you might think that's not happening, but I can tell you that it is. It's very real. Our thoughts are super connected into the results that we're getting. And so managing those thoughts, really holding space for those thoughts, loving yourself through the thoughts that you're having, but choosing what you want to believe instead, I think is really important. So another thing is like taking inventory. I think a lot of the people I'm looking at on the screen have already done that. But you want to just look at what's working right now. The worst thing that you can do is say, oh my gosh, we've always done it this way, so we're always going to do it this way. That is a huge mistake in literally any venture that you have. The ability to pivot and lean in to where you feel like change needs to happen, letting those waves of inspiration or intuition come into your body, not feeling like you have to hold on to something that wasn't working. And this goes the same with people. Okay, with people that you really just you're trying to hold this space for who you believe they could be, even though they've continued to show or shown in recent that they're not really willing to play that part in your business, and not making it mean anything about you because it doesn't mean anything about you. Where I would evaluate your part is what you're holding, what standard you're holding them to that none of the evidence is supporting right now. That's where you're making a mistake. It's not, it's just we got to see people for who they are. And we've got to see what's happening. We have to. That's why I love the prayer that I pray. Lord, show me what I need to see, even if it hurts my feelings. Because I don't know about y'all, but when I see what I need to see, sometimes it hurts my feelings. Like maybe the people I thought were serious or kind of giving me lip service, or the people that really act like they're busy, aren't busy. Show me what I need to see. And so and I'm going to take it a step further. Show me what I need to see and allow me to move forward without judgment of myself or them, because we judge ourselves big time if we can't get these people to do what we want them to do. What do we say? Even if we intellectualize it, even if we over intellectualize it, we say in our minds, well, I bet you fill in the blank leader doesn't have this problem. How many times have you said it? Almost dropped the F in the middle of this. How many times? I know because I've heard it, right? What, well, I bet this person doesn't have this problem. I bet this person doesn't. Oh, she never has to deal with this. Must be nice to be her. And it's like, that is a false reality created by wanting to make yourself feel bad. It's a subconscious self-loathing that makes you talk that way to yourself, literally. So, how are we going to move forward? We're going to get into proximity with people. I just had a conversation about this. It's like, perfect example, and I'm recording this. Maybe she'll run across this on YouTube, maybe she won't. But Trisha Rieger is a standard of high activity and high results, right? We're like, oh man, must be nice to be her. Oh, how does she do this? Blah, blah, blah. Well, I can tell you that she's probably 10xing or more the activity that you're doing every day. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying it because if you put 50 messages to new people out a day, your volume of results would be higher. So that's in regular sales, it's called the law of averages. The amount of people that you talk to, or the amount of at bats, or the amount of potentials, or for me, the amount of cold calls, the amount of doors I knocked on, the amount of phone numbers I would dial, right? That was what was going to create the amount of wins. The more of these creates the more of these. That's logic and reality. It's also a statistics that's very real. So if you don't like the amount of yeses you're getting, you have to find places to get back into proximity with people and get into conversation. You're not going to quote unquote rebuild with the current people that are there. We're not throwing them in the trash. We're not putting them on some kind of a shelf. We're not doing anything with them. We're allowing them to exist in the way they want to exist, and we're adding people into the family. That's it. Several of us have had trouble. I don't want them to feel left out. I want them to be brought along. I want all these things. I have this responsibility. And then right behind that responsibility kicks in the thought that if you were better at something, they would be doing more. Okay, that has to be dropped because that is where your major downfall is coming. Okay, that's where the it's basically a fallacy of thought is that if I was better, I would get more quote unquote out of this person. But really, it's if I was better, I would allow space for them to be who they're showing me to that they are, and I would move on to others. Their space does not change in your team. Your focus and the way that you talk about what you're getting from them needs to shift big time. Don't wait for September 1st to get serious. And I'm really like, I watch it all the time, like, especially because we're not getting those details until the first. We're like, okay, well, I'm going to get really serious on Tuesday. Like, I'm really going to go. And I think what happens is that those who wait to create momentum then are starting behind everyone else who is in motion. There is no need. Like I know that sometimes, especially when we know, oh, we're getting credits right now, but could I get more for them? Could I rank this up? Could I do this at this certain time to get more credits? That is a scarcity mindset. I want you to know that's living in scarcity, believing you are not going to create more from what you're doing now and that more will not spring forth. So it has to stop if you want true momentum. True momentum is all gas, no brakes, right? And that means I'm not going to manipulate this sign up to get this shiny thing. It means I'm not going to hold back and have them not post if they're ready. It means I'm not going to do any of those things where my brain is activated too much in trying to make it perfect. Okay? So, what we have to do is set a standard of behavior, and we cannot deviate from that. Just like we talked about how someone like Patricia Rieger has all these things popping off, popping off. It's so exciting. It's so exciting. I guarantee you she's getting way more no's than you. So, if you're someone that doesn't like no's, I'd stick with your same plan, period. Okay. If you're okay with confronting no's and just checking your ego at the door and not licking your wounds every time someone isn't ready to drop $150 on probiotics they might not take, okay? It's got to be a new standard. If we want more results, we talk to more people. Okay? If we want to grow and lift our lid, we do things we haven't been willing to do. Everybody on this screen, including myself, has a list of some things that we haven't really done yet, right? Feels like a lot, right? Whatever it might be. I don't know what it could be, but lean into that list because when you tighten up or shorten the list of the things you're not willing to do, the success will just avalanche. It's just the truth. A lot of times, what all of our success, our next level of success is baked into what we haven't been willing to do. And a lot of that might be, hey, I'm going to get serious about getting like a coach, or I'm going to get serious about doing a checklist. I've never really done that. I felt like I didn't need to, right? I'm going to get serious about talking to people in person because it scares me, but I dream one day about talking on stage. Make it make sense, right? We have to remember the talk we did about the future us and closing the gap on the future us by showing up as her. Ask yourself what she's doing right now to get ready for the Leaders Retreat contest and ask yourself how many people she's mentoring right now. Okay? Because what I want you to do is I want you to evaluate the 5 to 10 people that you're actively moving forward right now, that you're actively moving forward. If you're not moving 5 to 10 people actively forward right now, you now know what you get to do between now and Tuesday. And it's that. I know we want to build our blocks. Same, same. but that is part of that, right? Okay, you could be actively moving people forward in, buying the products. I get it. That's the first step. But there are 5 to 10 people on your team right now, new people that you could talk, or just people that you could talk to, even if it's tap rooting, that you could inspire to act. You could inspire to post. You could inspire to dream about earning a trip. You could inspire all those things. Even if they don't care about the trip, maybe inspiring them to move forward to earn an income of some kind, right? Not, not people that like active conversations, actively like, hey, I know we talked about this. I've got an idea. Hey, I know we talked about this. What if I did this? Right? It all comes down to being creative to help people see the vision. A lot of times, guys, I mean, I've been using that video that I did, that 18-minute video. I just posted about it. I'm probably going to get nothing from it, but I actually posted it so the people that I asked and ghosted me and told me no, they wouldn't watch it could see that I just really did want them to watch it because I'm a weirdo like that. Because I'm coming for everybody, right? I'm in that zone, right? We're locked in on where we're going. And so I put, because maybe I'm going to get somebody that's like, hey, I want a free coffee. Perfect. Okay. Maybe that person's going to watch that video and they're going to be like, hey, like, I know that we weren't supposed to do anything, you didn't want anything from this, but I really think I need this. Or, hey, my mom needs to, right? It's getting resources in front of people, even if you take away the objection. Like, hey, I know that you don't want to do this business, but could you do me a favor? Because my friend Sadie recorded this and we're wondering if it's too long. Do you mind? We'll buy you a coffee. I'll send everybody $8. Okay. Does this make sense? Getting the resource in front of people. If you don't want my video, getting the resource of a business in front of people. I used to cringe about videos. I'm just being honest with you. And now I'm the poster child for sending a fucking video. I'm all over it. I'm so excited about it. Like, let's go. Okay. Because I don't want to say, what if I sent videos and it would have made my job easier? That would have been a really weird regret for me, right? So think about the things that you're not willing to do and lean into them. I can't tell you what those are, but you see other people doing stuff. You're like, oh, that's okay for her, but not for me. Ooh. Like, seriously. Like, I've never hosted a sip and see at my house. Guess what I'm going to do? I've always been the coach. I've always been the helper. I've always been in this. I've always been in that. Not anymore. I'm going to do what I'm asking everyone else to do. And I want you to do the same thing. What we want. Uh, oh, perfect. There we go. Jessica Heffley swears by sending videos. Perfect. Um, I'm aligning with my inner Heffley, right? Leaders are not avoiders. That's my favorite quote. All right. So listen, here's another thing. You know, you need to re-engage with people selectively. And we all have those people. I don't know maybe about Shannon, but I know the other people on this screen. And I could say, I know people that probably are a waste, kind of like an energy drain for you on your team, if I had to guess, right? So we want to re-engage selectively. When I do this, I will tell you that I don't not ever follow up with them, those specific people. But I do it after I've gotten a win. I'll be honest with you. Because it's probably going to yank me down a little bit because they're an Eeyore, right? But something weird about me is like, well, I gotta keep, I'm gonna try again, whatever. Sometimes we cut it off. I'm kind of in that space in my business where I'm like, it's okay for me not to, especially people who act like they're interested and then I'm annoying, right? I'm just following up on what you wanted. So I'm kind of like off on those people. But we've all got leaders or people that have been what we call a failure to launch. Someone that has wanted this, but I want you to protect your energy, especially as we run into September. Those are not the people you're talking to right now. Those aren't the people. Those are the people that you reach out to on September 17th when you've, enrolled a couple people, you've helped somebody upgrade, you've got somebody in your level one going silver. That's when you reach out to Eeyore. It's not right now. They are not going to be your lock and load plan for this or any type of rebuilding. Okay? They're not. And you've got to detach from immediate evidence. And the best thing that I can tell you is the 90-day rule. Whatever is happening in your business is indicative of what was happening 90 days ago. Did you like what you were doing 90 days ago? You don't even have to nod, answer, whatever. Was it a hard summer for you? Like what? Like you tell me. Okay? Maybe that's when you start really doing something different and you're like, "No, I'm actually popping some things off right now that I see happening. I'm actually changing some things. I like it." So you either are going to look back 90 days ago and hate or love it. Okay? So 90 days from today, what is that? August, September, October, November, right before Thanksgiving. How do you want to feel about your business right before Thanksgiving? Do you want to feel like you're in momentum and you're excited and you're taking more people than you've ever taken to a leaders retreat? Then you know what you have to do. And it's literally not recycling the same stories that you've been telling yourself. Okay. And we've said this a million trillion times. We're going to say it again. Decide who you're going to be when on Tuesday, right? Actually, I want you to become her now. Right? So if the Tuesday version of you would show up to business a little bit differently, that's your sign that you're waiting and sandbagging. That's your sign. Okay. So let, 2 p.m. today be your Tuesday and change it up, whatever you need to. You know, I think something to think about is this, is that we've kind of talked about waiting, we've kind of talked about sandbagging, we've kind of talked about that. But rebuilding something or building something better on a current foundation always has activity attached to it. Always. It's not thoughts, dreams, wishes, hopes. It's not, oh, they said they'll be ready this other time. It's going out and creating. The thing is, too, is I don't know how to say this like necessarily appropriately, but like you're always going to be ready to hear from someone who's ready. You don't have to hold energy back. So many times along the way, I've heard, well, I hope I have enough of me. And I used to feel this, so I can identify with it, but I would hear it from teammates of like, oh, I don't, what if what if like code money? Perfect thing to say about code money is like, well, if I run out, what's going to happen if I run them out? Venmo, great problem to have. That's not a problem, right? I used to think it was a problem during our busiest time, because I was spending probably 1,000 a month on codes, right? But I was making probably four or five more thousand on top of it, right? So I paralyzed, I sandbagged, I held back, right? My fears related to that, and I transfer that energy. No one else is responsible for the energy that I transfer except me, right? So I'm going to say the same thing to you. Are you worried about being enough for the team that's triple the size that you've got? That's where you have to heal. Because God, I just swear, God will not bring you more than you can handle, but He's not going to give you something that you're hoping doesn't come. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. So you have to move like you're ready. Move like, hey, and that's what I tell my, that is in my head constantly. When I start to feel overwhelmed, I got this. I got this. I got this. The only person that can handle it like me is me. That's what you need to be saying it to yourself. I've never got into a problem where I wasn't able to handle what I needed to handle. But I sure as shit have shut down energy because I was afraid. And I know that I'm not alone, right? Okay. Waiting is like, I hope September's better. I hope everybody wakes up. You wake up, right? The rebuilding thought is, I'm creating conditions that assure that September is different, right? You are the one. You're the one. So, and through the whole series, and I kind of mentioned this, we're going to be finding a new time for this call. I don't know what time. But we've talked about closing the gap and raising our standards and leading before we're ready. And this is like build before it starts, right? Build before that gun shoots on the race, right? Build before that. Be in motion before that. Hey, Shannon. So you want to ask yourself, what am I rebuilding? What are you rebuilding? What is that? Are you looking for more customers? Are you rebuilding your personal recruiting? Do you want a certain income amount, leadership depth? Like, what exactly is it? Right? We don't know how to build exactly what we want until we define it. What do you want? I will tell you, I am rebuilding into a four-star diamond team. That's what I'm doing, right? And the only way that I can do that is creating space inside of myself to lift my standards and to move differently. Do the things I'm not willing to do and see what I'm seeing in people, right? Okay. The next thing is the version of me, we already said this, but the version of me who rebuilds this successfully, what would she do between now and Tuesday? Right? So if you're waiting to become this like separate person on Tuesday, and I'm just using Tuesday because it's like we all do it. We all have done it. Like we've all done it. We've been like, "Oh, well, this is a wash. We'll get her next time. We'll start again. I can't wait for this month to be over, so tomorrow's better." Guys, that logic doesn't even really make sense. It's a mindset thing. You're telling me the conditions of your business change within 12 hours? You know? I'm no physicist, but I doubt it. It's a mindset thing. It's a mindset thing. It feels easier. And I'll admit, I've done it to myself. Get this out of here. Oh my God. I'm so done. I'm so done. How selfish. I'm calling myself out. That's so selfish that I want to hurry time because I didn't show up the way I needed to show up. Gross. Sick. Right? So the version of me who is a four-star diamond doesn't do that. She doesn't. She doesn't. But she does allow things that, certain me right now doesn't allow. So I think the thing is that we expand our reach and who we're becoming in our lid, but we also give ourselves grace in places we probably haven't. We're not beating ourselves up on certain things. We're certainly not waiting for someone who is not mobile. It is, it's really in psychology, it's called fixing. You fix somebody in your mind to be the certain version of them that's more palatable for you. And you hold that vision, and so you just wait. And you think if you get better, they'll get there. But we're not the center of the universe. We're the center of our own, right? That's true. But that's not the way that it works. And if we were that powerful, if I was powerful enough to make everybody on my team diamond, y'all will be diamond. Okay. Like I would have done it already. I would have done it in 2017, And so I just have to recognize that, you know, every transformation that I've made has come from inside of myself. And that is true for you. That is true for everyone on your team. So all you can do is control your part. You cannot do more to expand them, right? You can show up, you can model, you can encourage, but ultimately you cannot shift someone. And you know that's true because there's no one responsible for your own shifts but you. Someone can give you great advice, but you're the one who has to walk it. You're the one who has to sit in the stuff. You're the one who has to, really decide, okay, what she's saying makes sense. And you're the one whose energy shifts. Okay. So then you just want to ask yourself, who are the actual people attached to what you're rebuilding? Are they all there? Who's there? Who's there that's all right, who that's going to be a part of it? How can you encourage them? And who do you need to go get? That's really important because I bet you that, and I would say this is true for me, I've got a great foundation of leaders that are here, that I see, that are visibly here with me. And that is an amazing feeling, even if you only had one. And I am blessed to have more than one. Blessed. But even if you only had one, okay, that saves you time and energy, especially if you're willing to see what God is showing you to go out and recruit the standard of human being that you want to build with you in the future. Don't let it scare you, let it empower you. Because I think sometimes we look around and we're like, oh, 6 months ago there was all this other stuff and those people are gone and if I could just get them back and it would just be easier. But is it? It's not because you have to go back and you have to like do the thing. You're cranking them up like a little jack in the box, like, come on, we can do it, we can do it, we can do it. And it's like, is that easier effort or is it easier to look at somebody new and say, tell me about you? I want to hear all about you. I want you to see what I can show you and offer you in this business. It's exciting. We have systems. You're walking into an amazing season. I'd love to help you gift this to your family. Because here's the other sad reality, which is going to be like really harsh. So if anybody just take it for whatever, but it just occurred to me. It's like, you know, you're trying to get people to see what they've already had the chance to see. Well, we're not a team that doesn't talk or share and invite and help and they're saying no to what they know. Does that make sense? The no's you get from potentials, well, they're saying no to something they don't even know about. So they kind of get off the hook. I mean, they're being stupid, but they get off the hook because they've never experienced it. But the people we drag, it's like they've had all the evidence and they're still standing, still handcuffed to a chair or whatever it is. Okay. So think about that. Like it just hit me. I'm like, yeah. All these people who don't do anything. I'm thinking about all my level ones, right? I'm thinking about all these people that I think are so dumb because they've got so much influence. I'm like, you're being dumb. Especially the ones who've worked the business and stopped. Now, if somebody's worked the business, things are different. You can go back and be like, hey, things are a little different. I want to tell, are you interested in hearing about why they're different? I'd love to hear why this didn't work for me before. If you're investigative about it, that's one thing. That's the only pass you get with this. Because I will tell you, we're very visual, we're visible, we're verbal. We're encouragers, we're cheerleaders, we're doers. People who aren't moving right now, who've seen what we have to offer, they know what they're saying no to. And so maybe it's God that's keeping them from saddling up. Right? Maybe it's not all about us. Maybe it's not all about trying one more time. Maybe it's not all about letting that just, oh, if I just gave him a text every morning. Bullshit. It's ridiculous. Do you need a text? No. You're up and at 'em on your own. And you're not going to find people exactly like you until you start moving forward in the world and becoming a magnet to them by not just begging people, right? So we're not going to go to September believing that it's going to save us. That's not what we're going to do. We're going to come into September already moving, right? I don't love, you know, and the other thing is too, like the term rebuilding. Are we could use that as an excuse of like doing less, like, oh, it's just a rebuilding phase. Well, the bricks don't get laid on their own. So we've got to be active and moving. I wouldn't say that that's true for anybody I'm looking at here. So please don't think I was projecting that. But I think sometimes we use these things kind of like I said before, like, oh, it's just a weird season, or everybody's doing this, everybody's doing this. How many times have I heard it? Everybody on my team is at the pool. Everybody's, I don't know, moving. I don't know. They're not. They're not. They're not. So just know they're not. We might feel better to say that, right? Everybody's tired. Everybody's taking a nap. Everybody's broke. No, they're not. They're not. And so I think what we have to do is just look ourselves in the mirror and say, okay, what did I allow? What am I waiting on in people that are showing me clearly? And I swear, what solves this? Lord, show me what I need to see, even if it hurts my feelings, and give me the courage to actually see it. Because I can tell you right now, probably 2016, 2015, 2016, Sadie, get a billboard put up right outside of her house, she'd be like, "No, she's doing it. Like we're doing it. Like she said she was." No, right? Lord, show me what I need to see, even if it hurts my feelings, and give me the courage to actually see it. Cool? Okay, I'm going to stop recording.